So Tim, we opened this intro up with MRO, right? Like we talk about what MRO is, and I come from the oil and gas industry, and we don't
Yep.
talk in these technical terms around maintenance, repairs, and
Yeah.
operations, right? We say rope, soap, and dope, and rotating equipment, right?
Yep.
And spare
Yeah.
parts. That's what we talk about. So, we met what 7, 8 years ago in South Africa, and I watched you talk, and you had this mining presentation, and I thought, my gosh, what is this guy talking about? I have no idea. And we had dinner, and you explained to me what MRO meant, right? And I thought, oh, well, I know what that is. But I think to start our series out, maybe you can walk through what MRO is in a worldview, and then we'll kind of talk about how we implement that. Organizations get better at that.
Absolutely. Okay, so this is a good point because sometimes you and I are so deep into this we forget. A lot of people are just starting their journey. So it's important. There's only two types of materials. Okay, and that's important to understand. It's either direct material or it's an indirect material. Okay, and this confuses some people sometimes. So let me start there. If you're let's say a car manufacturer, all the direct materials are your raw materials, your work in process, and your finished goods. Those are your direct materials. So you're buying them to transform them, to sell them, to generate revenue, cash, profits. Those are direct materials. Everything else that you use to run that business is an indirect material. So it's either pen and paper for the office, the admin, and it's all the spare parts to run the machines. It's diesel, petrol, or gasoline. All those things that the business consumes to produce is an indirect material. An indirect material is MRO. Okay, so, and we say that, so M are your general maintenance materials. Your R's are your repairables, so generally your more expensive, more critical materials. And your O's are your operating supplies. And that's where your high spend, fast moving materials come in, like diesel, grease, gas, gloves, glasses, the things that should be on contract move really quick. Those are your O's. So not the spare parts, but very important materials. And so a lot of people don't understand that. Once you kind of wrap your head around that definition, then we can kind of start breaking down the M's, the R's, and the O's, like you and I did in the oil and gas industry.
Right. Yeah, and it's interesting, right, Tim? Once you define that, it helps you set up your processes and procedures around, like if I have a planner or part, right? If they say this is tied to a piece of equipment, this is a spare part, it's a repairable, right? Then my job as a master data coordinator, whatever your master data guy, whatever you call that guy, is I'm going to make sure that number one, I create that material master with a really good taxonomy so these guys can find it, if they can search for it. But really, more importantly, I'm putting it on a bill of materials because this is about providing customer service to our maintenance guys, the guys that put the food on our tables. Like, end of the day, they are the reason that we make money. So our job is to make sure optimize that. And when you told me that, Tim, the first time, it just clicked, right? And it's like, okay, great. M's and R's on a bomb. O's on a contract. Let's get all that noise out. And we're going to talk about that, right? Like, we're going to talk about how to optimize that on the O side and all that good stuff. Go ahead, Tim. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what's coming up next in the series. We're going to go through stocking strategies, lead times, master data, descriptions, and how important that is to get that fundamentally right through a taxonomy. So all that's coming, guys. We got so much to talk about. We're probably running over on this one, but man, we got a lot to talk about. Hang in there.
Hang in there. We'll see you.